Once upon a time there were three young friends named Tom, Lucy, and Jack who lived in a small village called Willow Creek. Every day the three would play together, going on adventures in the nearby forest and meadows. One sunny morning Tom, Lucy, and Jack were playing in their favorite meadow when they noticed dark storm clouds gathering overhead. Suddenly, a loud clap of thunder boomed and a bolt of lightning struck down right in front of them. When the smoke cleared, an evil-looking sorcerer was standing where the lightning had hit. "I am Xarxus the Terrible," the sorcerer bellowed. "I have come to take over this land and make everyone my loyal subjects." Tom, Lucy, and Jack were terrified, but they knew they had to stop Xarxus. So they challenged the wicked sorcerer to a contest to decide who would control the land. Xarxus just laughed at the three small children. "You stand no chance against my powerful magic," he sneered. "But I accept your challenge just for fun." The contest had three parts. First, they would have a baking contest judged by the village baker. Xarxus used his magic to bake an elaborate cake in the blink of an eye, thinking he easily won. But Lucy and Tom worked together to bake delicious cherry pie that the baker chose as the winner. Next, they had an archery contest at the village fair. Xarxus used magic to hit the bullseye every time. But Jack focused hard and hit the center right as Xarxus did. The judge called it a tie. In the final contest, they had to cross the river and reach the hidden meadow on the other side first. Xarxus tried to sabotage the kids by making the river rise. But Tom, Lucy, and Jack worked as a team, Tom rowing the boat, Lucy spotting hazards in the river, and Jack using the map. Together they reached the meadow first. Xarxus was furious that he had lost the contest to three ordinary children. In a rage, he unleashed all of his magic power and transformed into a giant fire-breathing dragon. The enormous dragon towered over Tom, Lucy, and Jack. It roared and reared back, getting ready to burn them all to a crisp. Thinking quickly, Lucy grabbed her slingshot from her pocket and launched a rock right at the dragon's eye. It hit its target, and the dragon let out a howl of pain. This gave Jack enough time to grab his sword and jump forward, jabbing the dragon in the leg. The dragon bellowed in rage and swiped its spiky tail towards Tom. But Tom had seen the tail coming and slid right under it between the dragon's legs. As the dragon tried to find Tom, Lucy and Jack continued pelting it with rocks and swiping it with Jack's sword. Finally, the dragon collapsed to the ground with a mighty crash that shook the whole forest. With the evil dragon defeated, Xarxus' magic spell was broken. The sorcerer disappeared in puff of smoke, never to terrorize Willow Creek again. Once upon a time there was a magical unicorn named Stardust who lived in an enchanted forest. Stardust had a shiny white coat and a colorful flowing mane that shone all the colors of the rainbow. She spent her days frolicking through the forest with the other magical creatures, and at night she would lie under the stars and gaze up at the moon. One day, an evil wizard named Maldark heard about Stardust's magical powers. He wanted to capture Stardust and steal her magical horn to make evil spells. Maldark sent his minions into the enchanted forest to grab Stardust and bring her back to his dark castle on the hill. When Stardust was captured, all of the forest creatures were very sad. The squirrels, rabbits, and birds loved Stardust and didn't want to lose their magical friend. Even the trees and flowers seemed to droop without Stardust's joyful presence in the forest. Stardust was locked in a cold stone tower in Maldark's castle. Every day Maldark would come and demand Stardust give him her magical horn, but Stardust bravely refused. "I will never help you with your evil magic," she said. This made Maldark very angry. One night, when the moon was full, Stardust heard a strange clip-clop sound outside her tower window. She looked out and saw it was her friend Moonbeam, a unicorn from the enchanted forest. Moonbeam had come to rescue Stardust. "Quick, you must escape," said Moonbeam. "Your forest friends need you back home." Stardust quickly climbed out the window and jumped onto Moonbeam's back. The two unicorns galloped into the dark night away from Maldark's castle as fast as they could. But Maldark was furious when he discovered Stardust was gone. She must be heading back to the enchanted forest. "Send out my army of goblins to capture her," he bellowed. The goblins rushed out of the castle on their wolves and raced after Stardust and Moonbeam. Their angry howls filled the night air as they gained on the two escaping unicorns. Stardust was frightened when she heard the goblins approaching. "Faster, Moonbeam," she cried. The two friends galloped and galloped, but the goblin pack was nearly upon them. Just as the goblins were about to grab them, a mysterious figure leaped out from the trees. It was Prince Valor, a noble warrior from the kingdom next to the enchanted forest. Prince Valor boldly swung his sword and drove back the goblins. "Quick, unicorns! This way!" Prince Valor said. He led Stardust and Moonbeam safely into a hidden cave. The goblins howled in frustration as their prey disappeared from view. Inside the cave, Prince Valor made a warm campfire. He had soft blankets for Stardust and Moonbeam to snuggle into. "You are safe here," he told them. "I won't let those foul goblins get you." Stardust was very grateful to the prince for saving them. "Thank you for rescuing us," she said in her soft, musical voice. "But I cannot hide here much longer. My forest friends need me. Without my magic, the forest is losing its luster." The clever prince came up with a plan. "We will ride at dawn to confront the evil wizard Maldark. I will defeat him with my sword and free the forest forever." Stardust was frightened but also hopeful. Maybe this new friend could help restore her home. That night, the two unicorns rested safely with Prince Valor keeping watch at the cave entrance. At dawn's first light, Prince Valor saddled his mighty warhorse. Stardust and Moonbeam walked beside the prince as they traveled to Maldark's castle to face the evil wizard. When Maldark saw Prince Valor approaching, he snarled, "So you have come to steal my unicorn? I will turn you all into toads." The wicked wizard waved his arms and zapped dangerous bolts of magic at the prince. Prince Valor deflected the wizard's spells with his shining sword. Stardust and Moonbeam countered with blasts of light from their horns. Finally the prince reached the castle gates. "Your evil ends now, Maldark," declared the prince. Maldark only laughed. "Fool! I am too powerful." The wizard sent a terrible curse flying at the unicorns. Prince Valor leaped in front of his friends just in time. His sword absorbed the curse. The prince's noble heart made the sword glow bright with power. It cast Maldark's own curse right back at him. Maldark howled as his curse hit him instead. He shrank down into a helpless toad right there on the castle steps. The goblins and wolves fled in terror, never to torment the forest again. Stardust joyfully nuzzled Prince Valor with her horn. "You did it," she whinnied. "The wizard's evil magic is undone at last." The prince had freed the enchanted forest and rescued Stardust. Prince Valor and the unicorns traveled back to the forest where all the creatures were celebrating. Flowers were blooming, trees were vibrant, and animals danced happily now that Stardust was home safe and sound. At the edge of the forest, Prince Valor said goodbye to his new unicorn friends. The prince had to return to his kingdom. "I will come visit the enchanted forest again soon," he promised as he rode away. Stardust was so grateful to Prince Valor and Moonbeam for saving her. She never forgot how friendship and courage can overcome great evil. Stardust protected her forest home for many years after. And she would share this story so new generations would remember it too.